Hey everybody. Some things still remain the same, but a lot has changed about how the school is proceeding with remote learning. So this first video today is just me communicating some things to you about how we will be moving forward in pre-calculus. So first, I wanted to remind you of what I said before we all left the school campus. I had no intention then, and I have no intention now of entering any grades while we are away from the building. I could easily imagine how, let's say, an English teacher could still ask you to write a paragraph or an essay and give you marks for that because you all need to write something original. But in my case, in any math teacher's case, on a quiz or a test, I'm asking you to do all the same 15 or 20 problems. And I can't know if you're doing that work honestly. And I'm sure many of you would, but there's just no way for me to enforce honest work for 100% of you. So what I plan to do is to post quizzes for you to do, then post the answers for you to check, and save any testing and grades for when we get back into the classroom, assuming we ever do get back into the class this semester. And I think at this point, that's kind of an open question. Anyway, currently we are scheduled to be away from the building until Wednesday, April 8th officially. I'm expecting that we're probably going to be out a good deal longer than that. But I'm hoping that we'll return to the building at least 2 weeks before final exams. That would be May 4th, Monday, May 4th. If we return by then we will have enough time to review anything we need to review. I can test you on stuff, and I can get grades for those tests, and then we can prepare for the final exam. I'm sorry, I'm scrolling through my notes here. Let's see. Okay, so this is my hope that we'll be back by May 4th. But what if we don't even return to the building by then? All right, then I'm just going to have to figure out some way to do grades for you. And I want to address that possibility. Now, I'm well aware that there's been a decree from the state of Illinois that your grades should not suffer while we are away, that you should not, in effect, be punished academically for the circumstances we're in. And I'd like to respond to that idea. First, I know that learning remotely presents some greater genuine hardships for some of you than for others. And I support the idea that those of you suffering those greater hardships should not also have to suffer in your grades. But neither do I think that any of you should receive grades that you didn't earn. So let's say someone who has a low C right now should not end up having an A just prior to the final exam, because that would be mathematically impossible, even if we were in the classroom between now and final exams. In the end, I think you should all still receive a grade that most appropriately represents the learning you did. And it's always one of a teacher's highest duties to try to get that right. So that's what I intend to do, regardless of when we come back, or even if we never come back this semester. Well, let me turn the corner now and talk about this pre-calculus course more specifically. First, let's recognize that the school's new schedule has each period of the day meeting, officially, only every other day. So I will pretty much just be assigning one thing every 2 days. And here's a fact. Conics is the last unit that we officially have to cover in this course. The final exam does not go beyond conics. It never did. And we can finish conics in about 5 days. But I would rather finish the conics unit in the classroom if it's at all possible than to try to finish it online. When we were together last, you took, on the very last day, quiz 9-9. But it's been more than 2 weeks now since we've done any substantial work in conics, so I don't want to just pick up where we left off. So for the next 5 weeks, through May 1st, all I plan to do is review, steadily but thoroughly, everything we have done in conics so far. Now my expectation is that this should be pretty light work for most of you. Significantly lighter than what I would expect from you if we were still in the building every day. But I'm okay with that. But here's the flip side of that. If, in fact, we return on May 4th, or whenever we return, but assuming we return on May 4th, I plan to present a new lesson on conics that very day, lesson 9-10, and I will expect you to be ready for it. Got it? So don't blow off the work that I'm asking you to do between now and then. Or blow it off at your own risk, because we're going to hit the ground running when we get back. All right, so let me turn a corner here and talk about something more important than the calendar and assignments. I've said that I hope we'll return on May 4th, but what if we don't? What if we never return this semester and the district decides not even to give final exams, which I think is a very real possibility if we don't ever return to the building? Then why should you concern yourself at all with any of this work? I mean, you've already heard from me that I don't intend to enter grades for work that I can't ensure that you did on your own, so your grades are not going to change. So if you have an A, why should you do any more work? If you have a B and you're happy, or if you're happy with whatever your grade is, why should you do any work at all? Why make any effort to learn anything for the rest of this semester, at least in math? Well, it goes back to what I said to you on the very first day of school. Long term, how important is it that you know all of this math, or any of it? Not very. You've heard me say this before. Most of you will not need any of this math once you stop taking math. And most of the rest of you will need almost none of it. What's important is that you continue to develop yourself into a disciplined, committed, hardworking, problem-solving person. And this course and every course you're taking this year give you the chance to do that. And the fact that we've moved from in the classroom to remote learning hasn't changed that one bit. In fact, it has given you a rare and unique opportunity to grow in that way. And if anything, your experience in my class has actually prepared you for this. Because maybe some of you are thinking, why do any of this work? He's not going to grade it, collect it, or even see it, and it's not going to affect my grade. But my question to you is, how different is that from how we've operated this whole entire year? How many homework assignments have I ever checked? But you do it, right? Well, some of you do it. I mean, I know among my 40 pre-calculus students, there are different levels of effort. I fully expect that those of you who have always worked hard will continue to do so, because it's who you are. And you need to keep that up. Those of you who have given a half-hearted effort much of the time, well, it's time to step it up, because now your growth is more dependent on your effort than ever. You have to take the initiative to watch the videos. You have to take the initiative to do the assignments and so on. And the few of you who have rarely ever put in much effort, I hope you will decide that there is no time like the present to change that behavior. Get off of that dead-end road and on a road to maturity and opportunity. Okay? One final note. My plan is to try to host an online meeting, either through Google Meet or Zoom, during at least one of the 2 hours that our class period is scheduled to be in session during the week, and you have those schedules. I do not intend to do any teaching during those meeting times. I just want there to be a regular time when you know you will have my undivided attention if you want to connect with me to try to get some questions answered. But as may be the case in your home, things are a little chaotic in mine. Actually, they're a lot chaotic. And I might not be available every minute of that hour each time. I'll try to do my best. I plan to start hosting these meetings on Tuesday of next week, not before then. So between now and then, you can, of course, email me if you need something, and we can meet through Google Meet or Zoom, just you and me, if you want. So your job starts right now. It's time for you to watch the second video for today, which just reviews lessons 9-1 and 9-2. Watch it. Do as much of the handouts over as you feel like you should or you need to, and check the answers on my webpage as usual. I wish you all the best. I miss you all, and I hope we'll be together again before the year is over.